a Fox News Alert. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. President Trump and House Speaker Paul Ryan pulled the plug on the Republican plan to repeal and replace Obamacare just minutes before a scheduled vote on that bill. The stunning decision coming after several days of intense negotiations behind the scenes of how to get the votes to pass that bill. Now the GOP leadership and the Trump administration trying to lick their wounds and move forward after their first big legislative loss. And the blame game behind the scenes has already begun. We have Fox team coverage tonight. Correspondent Kevin Cork is at the White House, where the president, as you saw, spoke about the decision to yank the bill. But we begin with Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel on Capitol Hill with the move that really stunned Washington today. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. It's been a tense day on Capitol Hill after White House aides demanded a vote on this Republican health care package. Leadership aides say it was President Trump who called on Speaker Paul Ryan to pull the bill mid-afternoon.
We just didn't quite get consensus today. What we have is a member-driven process to try and get consensus. We came very close, but we did not get that consensus. That's why I thought the wise thing to do is not proceed with a vote, but to pull the bill.
House Freedom Caucus member Mo Brooks celebrated.
I'm pleased as could be that the legislation has failed because I believe it's bad for America.
House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi rejoiced after this repeal effort failed.
It's pretty exciting for us. Yesterday, our anniversary. Today, a victory for the Affordable Care Act, more importantly, for the American people.
Pursuant to Clause 1C of Rule 19, further consideration of H.R. 1628 is postponed.
Just after noon, Speaker Ryan went to the White House to brief the president on the status of the health care bill, with Ryan telling him he didn't have the votes. Vice President Mike Pence made an afternoon visit to Capitol Hill, trying to make a final push for conservative support from the House Freedom Caucus. There has been intense pressure on the Freedom Caucus to deliver conservative votes after extensive outreach from the White House. But after the meeting, some of those conservatives said they were still no's. And others, like Congressman Thomas Massie, complained about the pressure to get on board. If exec branch tells legislative branch when to vote, how to vote, and what it will be allowed to work on if vote fails, is that a republic? With tension building, some tried to play the role of peacemaker and avoided the blame game.
Look, we have support from Freedom Caucus members for this bill and from Tuesday Group members, their moderate counterparts, and we have opponents in both camps as well. So to blame any single group, I think, would be a huge mistake.
There was also tension of the more traditional kind between Republicans and Democrats, and some anger erupted with accusations the GOP lowered the volume on the Democrats' floor microphone.
This debate is too important to have our microphones at a lower scale.
Others took aim at this health care proposal and Republicans.
What does the GOP stand for? Get old people. That's what this bill does. That's what people are going to vote yes for today. And let me just say this, we have an obligation.
This health care deadline day began early with those favoring this repeal and replace plan calling for action.
I appreciate the input of the administration. I appreciate the fact that the directive to us last night was to put our pencils down and turn our papers in. It is time, Mr. Speaker. This is a good bill. The rule deserves our support. The underlying bill deserves our support.
Speaker Ryan says now they're going to proceed with tax reform, and Obamacare is reality for the foreseeable future. But the fact they failed at repeal and replace will make, in some respects, tax reform even harder. Brett?
Mike Emanuel live on the Hill. Mike, thank you.